Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an evening at the Pekin Theatre. My name is Jane Beachy, and I am Program Manager for Art at Illinois Humanities. At Illinois Humanities, it is our mission to strengthen society by fueling inquiry and conversation around the ideas and works that shape our culture. We are so thrilled to be here reanimating this site tonight, thanks to an incredible team of performers and creators. One day short of 112 years ago, on this very site, or technically that very site, on the south side of the street, the Pekin Theatre held its first official formal performance to a crowd of 400 people. Please take a moment to peruse your programs and learn a little bit more about the fabulous people behind tonight's performance. But for now, I just want to be sure to thank the Joyce Foundation, without whose generous support tonight would not be possible, the Chicago Performance Lab, particularly Heidi Coleman and Laura Ashlock, for their partnership, Empty Bottle Presents for their partnership in building this stage and everything around it this evening. And also, we are thrilled to be a part of the City of Chicago's 2017 Year of Public Art. Please enjoy an evening at the Pekin Theatre.
Ladies and gentlemen, benefactors and scoundrels, ruffians and angels, natives and pilgrims.
To the bountiful and the luckless, to the rich and someday rich, to the meek and the bold and all those otherwise defined.
I have the great pleasure of welcoming you to a night at the Pekin, celebrating the very first Black-owned,
Black-operated
theater in these United States, the Pekin Theatre, which once stood there,
just right across the street from where we stand right now.
My name is Breon.
My name is Sydney.
And I we have the great honor of being your master
and mistress
of ceremonies tonight, my assistant. Now, the history of the Pekin is not very well known. For years, it was buried, forgotten.
But the unforgettable music and dazzling shows presented at the Pekin helped put the storied metropolis of Bronzeville on the map.
The Pekin established an undeniable legacy of world-class entertainment that was, for the first time,
For us.
By us.
and about us.
Now, before we skip back in time to the early 1900s,
The heyday of the Pekin.
we'd like to introduce you to our friends.
I'm Chris,
I'm Destiny.
They'll help tell the story.
and show you the moves.
Ooh, all right now.
And sing out the tunes. La 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 la.
And we might do a little dance or two, too.
If you're lucky. Now, bringing life to these lovely, lively melodies tonight is pianist, composer, and ragtime master Reginald Robinson. Accompanied by his distinguished musical cohorts.
Now, the very first song that we heard this evening is called The Pekin Rag.
Written by up-and-comer Joe Jordan in tribute to a yet young enterprise taking root in Bronzeville, the Pekin Theatre.
The Pekin Theatre.
Imagine, if you will, it's 1904, and just across the street there, at the corner of 27th and State, stood a humble saloon.
Its owner, Robert T. Motts, is a black businessman, entrepreneur, and policy man.
Policy,
Numbers.
lottery, gambling, really.
Policy numbers were in every Chicago neighborhood, especially the blackest and the poorest.
Now, Motts ran one such policy house,
But it was for the betterment of Bronzeville.
and he created a beacon of black culture.
In Bronzeville,
In Chicago and
in the world.
Now, Motts was well-traveled.
Honey, he went to Paris.
the city of lights.
Merci.
And he was so inspired by its,
Café Chantant.
Music hall.
that he returned to Bronzeville and laid plans to change his saloon into a beacon of black culture.
In Bronzeville.
In Chicago.
In the world.
Now, the Pekin was a hub for high performance, a home for the best live music of the time, and stage for the vaudevillian. Now, in 1904, after expansive
And expensive.
renovation, he turned his saloon, his humble saloon, into the Pekin Theatre and christened it a temple of music.
A jewel burgeoning in the heart of black Chicago.
Oh, and just so you know, tonight we'll be rehearsing a brand new play. And when I say brand new, I mean brand new. Right, and that is chock full of music, dance, song, music, dance. You get the point. Now, actors, we're gonna start from A Castle on the Nile. Everyone grab your scripts, let's get ready. Band, turn to page, you know the page. On The Castle on the Nile, everyone, let's get it together. Are we ready? oh, right, this is my song. As you will. Hit it! There ain't no use to trying to rise up in the social scale, unless you can trace your name back to the flood. You've got to have ancestral halls, and then you mustn't fail to prove there's indigo mixed in your blood. I then found out that I came down from the old chief Bungaloo. My great-granddaddy was his great-grandchild. And so I'm gonna sail away across the waters blue to occupy my castle on the Nile. In my castle on the river Nile, I'm going to live in elegant style. Inlaid diamonds on the floor, a baboon butler at my door. And I'm gonna marry the Princess Mizzou, and my blood will change from red to blue. Entertaining royalty all the while in my castle on the Nile. In my castle on the Nile, I'm gonna live in elegant style. Diamonds on the floor, a baboon butler at my door. And when I wed the princess who name is called Anna Mizzou, my blood will change from red to blue in my castle on the Nile. Oh, thank you, band. Excuse me.
Ragtime.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, that is my favorite rag.
Your favorite rag?
You know, ragtime.
Oh, ragtime. Now, what is ragtime?
You know ragtime is the song you just sang.
Yes. Oh, that ragtime. I thought you meant a different ragtime. Hey.
Ragtime. The music was named that way because folks said it sounded like it had ragged edges. You see, ragtime, played mostly on the piano, was full of syncopated rhythms and jaunty melodies. Rag's roots are found in the rhythmic song slaves brought here to America, and its sounds was shaped by the fiddle and the banjo. By the mid-1800s, dances like the jig and the cakewalk made piano rag the most popular music around.
But ragtime wasn't considered high class enough to the well-to-do taste of high-class black folks.
Sadiddy.
They frowned upon ragtime. Why, that was the music of Chicago's seedy underbelly, the bars, the brothels, and the saloons.
But the Pekin Orchestra played ragtime anyway, and its audiences, refined or not, came to love its sound and the excitement of the Pekin itself.
Show you.
Sweethearts courted happily for quite a while, this simple life of country folk. When the lad told girlie he must go away, her little heart with grief he broke. She said,
"I know it's true, I love you best of all, so honey, don't you go away." Just as he went to go, he told the girlie so, these words he heard her say. Some of these days you'll miss me, honey. Some of these days you'll feel so lonely. You'll miss my hugging. You'll miss my kissing. You'll miss me, honey. When you go away, I feel so lonely. Just for you only. For you know, honey, you had your way. And when you leave me, I know it will grieve me. You'll miss your little baby.
What?
No.
What? Oh, right. Introducing the cakewalk. Okay. Now, if you don't mind me saying, it looked like you wanted to dance a bit there.
That's so.
Oh, yes, that is so. And I'll happen to let you know that I can really cut a rug.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, go on then.
Right. All right. No band? Okay. All right. What? Yes. Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. Ha! So,
It's okay, I guess.
just okay.
Yeah, it's no cakewalk.
Ooh, the cakewalk. Now that's my jam. The cakewalk, everyone? Let's cakewalk. Come on, fellas. High knees, come on. Come on, hey. You know it. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, girl. So sorry.
Regroup, come on. Let's get Here we go. One. Hey. Double tap. Here we go. Double tap. Slow it down. Hey. Hey, pick it up. Oh, high step. Two slap. All right. Look alive this time.
We got it.
All right. There we go. Yeah. So how was that?
It's okay, I suppose.
Just okay. Come on now. That's the cakewalk. You have to appreciate where that dance came from. All right. Let's move on. Everybody, get your scripts. Get your scripts. Let's go.
Here.
Page 11. Page 11.
Thank you.
Now, you see, the cakewalk is a very old dance made up of slaves who mocked the highfalutin manners of their owners. By the 1900s, the cakewalk was such a part of American culture that it could be found all over the country. There was a national cakewalk competition and championship at Madison Square Garden one year.
And cakewalkers pranced at the Paris Road Fair in another. For the guest of the Pekin, the cakewalk was a chance to kick back, have a good time, and forget the troubles of the day.
Oh, yes, forget all the troubles of the day. Now, you see, the time of the Pekin was also the time of the Great Migration. And in 1904, many blacks in Chicago were new to city life. They left lives of denial and danger in the South for places like
Kansas City.
St. Louis.
Milwaukee.
Detroit,
And right where we stand,
Chicago's Bronzeville.
Our grands
Great grands.
and great-great-grands likely came to Chicago by way of Mississippi.
The Mississippi.
Right.
Hungry for work, decent jobs, fair pay.
And education. Yes, they yearn for something better than separate but equal that rarely, if ever, was.
Those seekers from the South escaped the ever-present threat of guns and lynch mobs.
But many found these northern cities a little better than what they left behind.
Housing,
Discrimination.
jobs,
Discrimination. White flight. Redlining.
But the Pekin was a welcome respite for weary black souls, a place for black music and mirth.
A beacon in Bronzeville and beyond, where we could dress in our finest and indulge, and maybe spy a reveler or two out and about on the scene.
I think it's time for a song. Queen, my dusky turtle, what a beautiful scene. Me and my lady love, she's so sweet and serene, fresh from the jungle green. She is my Kaya Colonian, royal Devonian queen. In the home so grand, just alongside the strand, lived a Moorish maid, so near and dear to me. When I sought her heart in hand, she made me understand that if I wish, my little bride she'd be. When the moon is brightly beaming, from the azure skies are streaming, in my cottage I'm a-dreaming, dreaming of our wedding day. Natives of exalted station, potentates from every nation will be there to hear me when I sing. My Bohemian queen, my dusky turtle dove, what a beautiful scene. Me and my lady love, she's so sweet and serene, fresh from the jungle green. She is my Kaya Colonian, royal Dahomian queen. But, what?
you know,
Oh, okay. Spit it out. Come on.
well, yeah, it's just,
I think he needs some help, man.
back me up, I just, it's like,
Ugh. Are we ready?
I don't believe in rushing through this world at no time. I may be somewhat foolish, but this is a rule of mine. When folks rush up to you and say what they want you to do, just think it over before you speak, cause it may mean trouble for you.
What?
Take your time, friend of mine. Take your time, your own time. That's the best way to do. You will find. Never let your best friend rush you to trouble's end. Take your time, friend of mine. Take your time. Familiarity breeds contempt. yesterday. She said I was the finest man that she had ever seen. But when she talked about marrying me, right then and there I screamed. What? Take your time, friend of mine. Take your time, your own time. That's the best way to do. You will find when you take you a wife, it's the same as jail for life. Take your time, friend of mine. Take your time.
I think it's time for a card.
A day in Bronzeville, a night at the Pekin.
Now, say it's early morning in Bronzeville.
It's early morning in Bronzeville.
Don't entertain that. No, I mean, imagine it's early morning in Bronzeville.
Oh, all right.
It's early Friday morning in Bronzeville, and a young man gets out of his bed in his rather small apartment he shares with his mother, his father,
His sisters and brothers and maybe a grandparent or two.
He pulls on his uniform and heads off to work. You see, everyone in this house works.
'Cause that's the only way to make ends meet.
Outside, the Bronzeville streets are alive with all kinds of black folks on their way somewhere. A laborer in coveralls, a domestic with her apron, stands shoulder to shoulder with a doctor in a bowler hat.
A musician with his trumpet.
And a certain young teacher with her books, his sweetheart.
His would-be sweetheart.
He catches sight of her at the bustling corner of 47th and South Parkway Boulevard.
King Drive.
He wants to say hello, but alas, he's only an orderly.
At Bronzeville's Pride, Provident Hospital, the first black-owned and operated hospital in the country.
But he doesn't have the confidence
Or the cash.
to ask her out.
Still, she smiles in his direction and continues on her way to the school.
Where she works. Every week, new students arrive.
Children of families who migrated north to give them an education they couldn't get.
They wouldn't get back home.
And though her textbooks
Handed down from white schools.
are out of date and don't tell the story of anyone who looks like the eager pupils before her,
She teaches them how to think and listen and speak. Every day she tells them that they are brilliant and strong.
that their lives matter.
And that they are powerful beyond measure.
At the hospital, the young black man takes pride in his work too. His hours are long and the work is hard, but it's all right because he's got plans tonight.
After dinner, he pulls on a crisp white shirt and buttons up his snazziest vest.
After dinner, she pulls on her prettiest dress and piles up her hair just so.
He slides into his jacket.
He's got to look extra sharp.
She buckles her shoes.
They make her look and feel like royalty.
She steps out.
He steps out.
On their way to where else?
The
Pekin Theatre.
He wishes he had a coat and tails like the Pekin's ritzy guests.
But he's got his hat on his head and a shine on his shoe. And for tonight, well, that will certainly do.
After all the trials of the day, there are few things better than to be with the company of your own.
When the band strikes up,
And the soprano starts to sing.
And you catch your sweetheart's eye.
He's looking mighty nice.
and for a moment, the soprano singing is singing just for you two. Oh yeah, right.
beauty sighs, proud love his eyes, longs for the summertime.
The roses yearn for the sunshine, the bird just pines for the tree. All these though fine, don't go for mine, 'cause sweetie's the one for me. Sweetie dear, don't you hear what my heart is trying to say? Sweetie dear, please draw near, whisper about that wedding day. Say you're mine all the time. Without love, the day is drear. My heart's sad, make it glad. I'm just mad about sweetie dear.
My sweetie's got eyes like the diamonds, teeth that just glisten like pearls. Sweetie's dear smiles and winning wiles sets my poor heart a-whirl.
My sweetie's got lips red as rubies, lips just as sweet as can be. But like the sun, sweetie's the one and only sweet thing for me. Sweetie dear, don't you hear what my heart is trying to say? Sweetie dear, please draw near, whisper about that wedding day. Say you're mine all the time. Without love, the day is drear. My heart's sad, make it glad. I'm just mad about sweetie dear. My heart's sad, make it glad. I'm just mad about sweetie dear.
Sweetie Dear by Joe Jordan.
That JoJo, he gets me every time. The Pekin wouldn't have been the Pekin without the great Joe Jordan.
No, the Pekin wouldn't have been the Pekin without the great Joe Jordan. In 1904, Jordan arrived in Chicago at the age of 21, but already had significant credits to his name.
Joe Jordan found Robert T. Mott's when the Pekin was still a saloon and started working as its pianist. But
Within a couple of years, became its musical director and orchestra leader. Then, sharing an entrepreneurial spirit, Motts and Jordan opened the Pekin Publishing Company.
one of the country's first ever black-owned. Joe Jordan's talent was immense. Ragtime pianist, conductor, arranger, and composer, he wrote scores of scores for most of the Pekin's productions. You want to hear some old Joe Jordan? Yeah.
I know I do.
I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm glad about that loving man of mine. He's so neat and sweet as the berry that grows on the vine. Oh, Joe, my Joe, you know that you have got me going so. I'm so crazy, proud your love drove me wild. Joe, my Joe, oh, lovey Joe, that ever-loving man from way down home in Birmingham. He can do some loving and some loving show, and when he gets to loving, I just humble. He's master of the ever-loving arts, where others love him sweet, that's where he starts. And when I hear the wedding crying so bad, I just get myself a wedding band, take it to the preacher man, make the preacher understand. He must join us hand in hand to love each other, right ever loving man. forever loving mine.
But the Pekin played more than just popular rags and tunes. It served up the classics just as well as anyone. Here is our own Master Aiden playing Brahms' Hungarian Dance, number 5. Master Aiden, everyone.
For us, by us.
You know what it is.
There is a lot of history here that's never been told.
Well, that's why we are here telling it now.
But yes, but there's so much more.
Yes, there is. But tonight, we remember the fabulous Pekin Theatre that sprung from the vision and ingenuity of Robert T. Motts and Joe Jordan, right here in Bronzeville.
Neighborhoods south of 22nd Street were called the Black Belt.
And sometimes called the Black Ghetto.
But one day, James Gentry
Black editor of the Chicago Bee.
looked around at the lively streets and restaurants and churches and schools and concert halls in his neighborhood, all filled with the people of bronze hue, living and loving in a metropolis all their own, and promptly named it
Bronzeville.
This Bronzeville would give the world luminaries like poet Gwendolyn Brooks, musician Muddy Waters,
Playwright Lorraine Hansberry, aviator Bessie Coleman,
and painter Carrie James Marshall.
Yes. 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 The bright lights of the Pekin Theatre shone from such a place. Audiences of all races were welcome and frequent guests, but Motts saw to it that every artist who set foot on the Pekin stage
and every staffer that kept it running
was black like him.
black like me.
Black like us.
The Pekin truly was for black people.
By black people.
But what we take for granted was not the rule in 1904. When civil rights crusader Ida B. Wells visited the Pekin, she praised it because, as she said, we could sit anywhere we chose without any restrictions.
That was only one of the reasons the Pekin was so remarkable.
So successful and
so
so
important.
important.
A century ago, these Bronzeville streets bustled with artists and activists, business folk and hustlers, teachers and thinkers, entrepreneurs, and a man who dreamed of a place where all could gather as their full selves to celebrate themselves. A temple of music, a home for vaudeville where, for the first time, blacks would take center stage and be the tellers of their own stories. What?
I was just thinking.
Thinking about what?
I mean, we're standing on top of all that history, all that greatness.
Yeah? But you know what I like to think about?
What?
All the new history that we'll make, all the dreams we've yet to dream, and the places that all that history and all that greatness can lead us all to. If we let it. was the Sugar Hill, composed by our own Mr. Reginald. Shall we have one last cakewalk, gentlemen?
Oh.
A cakewalk?
Okay.
A cakewalk? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our band. We have another applause for our band. On violin, Aiden Daniels. Also on violin, Samuel Williams. On clarinet, Ernest Dawkins. On cornet, Robert Griffin. On trombone, Tracy Kirk. On string bass, Roosevelt Griffin III. On drums, Sean Mosley. And on piano and our orchestra leader, Mr. Reginald Robinson. And thank you for coming to a night at the Pekin.